Hello, scrapbookers and crafters. This is Michelle at michellesizemore.com. That has one L in my first name for my website link. I'm a creative memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this page using our National Scrapbook Day 2025 collection. The first thing I want to do is to show you how to make this border with different colors of strips that are on a slant to kind of give it some interest. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and grab this. I'll show you everything I used to make this layout. This is a pre-made layered embellishment from the new spring collection. It's called something Surrey spring. So anyway, it's our new 2025 spring collection, and it worked really well on this layout. So I used that. I used these little embellishments that come with the National Scrapbook Day collection. And there's a little tree that I used as well, but I've already used all of those little bush. It's a little bush. I've used those up. I used 10 cardstock for here, and actually it's called beige. And I used this beige cardstock as the base for this border. And I used this green cardstock for the little watering cans for the border. I used ruled paper, dark brown paper, and these are the colors that I used to make my strips with. Everything here, all of it comes with the National Scrapbook Day collection. This yellow, this orange, green, the brown, and this one. And I've already pre-cut some of my strips, so I'll show you how I did it, but I'll mostly use the pre-cut ones to save time. Okay. All right, so let's make this border. First thing I want to do is grab my beige cardstock and cut it. I think I cut it to about I'm going to cut it to about 1 3/4 inches. So you put it in here in the trimmer. I've got the straight blade in here. I'm going to measure it to 1 3/4 inches. And now I have my strip. I'm going to grab this, and I am going to put some repositionable tape all over it. And I'm going to be very generous with it. Usually I'm telling you to use little dabs, but now I'm saying nope, use a lot of it. Okay, so now pretty much the whole thing is pretty sticky. Okay, now, to get my strips of paper, I want to cut 1-inch strips. To do that, I just put the decorative paper, and I could layer a couple of sheets together because you could really cut through two pretty easily. But I'm going to measure it at 1 inch right here. Let me open my arm. And that'll make it more level. And my little foot is open down here. I'm going to line it up at the 1-inch mark. Make sure it's straight on that grid line all the way down. Make sure, well, it moved on me. Line it up at 1 inch. Follow the grid line all the way down. Make sure it's straight at the top. And cut. And this is how I cut my strips of paper. They're 1-inch strips of paper. Okay. All right. Now I have, like I said, cut a lot of these strips of paper. So I'm going to grab those. Okay. And I'm just going to follow the design like I did here. I'll put this at the top. So all this beige cardstock is it's just your base that your strips of paper are going to stick to. So I went this direction here. I think it would be cool to have a 2-page spread with this, and these going in this direction and the ones on the right going in this direction. You know, or you could pick the direction you want them to go, but I'm going to follow what I did here. you want to make sure you cover up the whole piece of beige. So I'm going to line this up at a little past the top corner and make sure it goes over this. By the way, after I cut my strips of paper, I then cut them in smaller strips, about about 5 inches each. And that's how I got this. Okay, and then I'm going to pick this one. This is really pretty fast once you get it going. And you just want them to meet up against each other so that you don't see any of that beige. And just make sure you cover up the whole thing. Make sure they stick down really well. And the next one is brown. And orange. And then I'll just try to go pretty quick with this. I think I didn't get that close enough. There we go. Another yellow. And, ooh. Oh, there's brown. Another brown. Another orange. Green. And finish off with the yellow. Okay, now I'm just going to make all of these stick really well. Remember, I put the adhesive on the piece underneath, so I just want to rub them and make sure they stick. And then I'm just going to flip it over and cut with my scissors. Just basically cut along the edges of your beige cardstock. I love using strips of paper because it just shows a great way that you can use up your scraps, because we're always left with all these little pieces, and this is something good you can do with them. Okay, we're almost done with this part. Let me cut a little bit closer in there. And you have your finished part of that. Now I'm going to get all this out of my way, except that. Okay. All right. Again, you could, yeah, I did it this way. Okay, so next thing I want to do is cut my row of, gosh, I've got all these scraps on here, of watering cans. And this is a new Boilermaker cartridge for spring. And it looks like this. And grab this. And I need my green cardstock. This is really a bright, like a cheerful green that comes with the scrapbook day. Now I need to get a really good straight edge to start with. And I'm going to do that. And I'll throw this away. Okay. Now, put my cardstock in the Boilermaker system. Lift my magnetic arm, put this in here, line it up with all the edges of the tray, like this. Pop that tray back in place, and it pops in there. Put my cartridge in the cartridge holder with the metal pieces sticking out. Place my cardstock here. Make sure my notches meet up and punch. And then I pull out, plop it back in place, notches meet up and punch. And I just do that all the way down. You'll feel it fit back in place because what happens is these little metal notches fit into grooves that are on this when the notches are matched up. So that's how you know it's in place. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to cut a straight edge off of this. I'm just going to guess. I need like some room to mount this on top of it. So I'm going to go about like that. There's no perfect way to do it. That might be too much, and if it is, I'll trim some off. Okay, now I need to put my little brown piece here. I need to find that little brown piece. There it is. Okay, that is going to go right here, and I did cut that a little bit too much. I'm going to go and make it smaller with my scissors. I could use the trimmer, but I just needed this real quick, and the scissors are handy, so I'm going to do that. So cut it a little smaller than I did. Okay, now get all these scraps out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to put some repositionable tape runner on the back of this. I love these little layered borders because they're so cute, and a lot of the work is already done for you. Okay, I thought the colors went perfect with this layout. So I just want to put it over so that just the little watering cans stick up. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to mount that on here. Okay, and let's put some tape runner on the back. Of course, now this is the best example of why I love the repositionable tape runner. See all these little intricate pieces? When you use this, it comes out in clear dots. It only sticks where it needs to stick. And because you use it on a silicone mat, the extra goes off on here instead of off on your table. And it's great. So you can see, I don't know if you can even tell, there's little clear dots on the back, but they're transparent. Okay, I'm going to be generous with this because I want to make sure I get it on all the little intricate pieces so they won't fold up on me. I'm going to try to get this little white part too. I'm being very generous. Usually I'm not so generous with it, but I am with this. Okay. So let's put this on the bottom here. I think this is a fun border. I love doing these little strips on the slant. I think it's cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna gently, ever so gently, press down. And if I see any little clear dots, I'm just gonna rub them off. They just rub right away. I would not use any other, personally, I would not use any other adhesive than this. I love it for these things. Okay, and then all I have to do is take my brown cardstock and cut two pieces to about 3/4 of an inch each. They don't have to be exact. You'll see why. There's one. There's two. And I'm going to put some repositionable tape runner. Wow, I did not get that even. I can tell from the back, so I'm going to make that a little better. It looked even when I did it, but that looks better. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, so now I'm going to put some repositionable tape runner on the back along one long edge. And here's my strip of brown. I want the brown to peek out past the border, but not too much, just to give it a little finished edge look. You could use a decorative blade on one side of that, like the deco blade maybe, but I just use straight. I thought with this little scallop, it probably had enough going on there, so. Okay. Now, I noticed that this brown is a little short. It's because it's a scrap piece. I should have checked that. So, because of that, I'm going to show you what I would do to fix that instead of starting over. Wow, it's even over here. I'm going to, okay. I think I'm going to cut this a little bit. There we go. That edge was just not finished very well. Yeah, here we go. Now I'm going to put my brown, and I want about as much to show as it did on the other side to make them even, and just press everything down. Make sure it sticks. Okay, so now my border is made, pretty much made, and I'm going to mount that on this light blue cardstock. Now, oh, I did want to show you how to finish this because this is a little bit, just a slightly uneven. So I'm just going to fill it in with a little piece of cardstock. Yeah. And then I'll cut it to make it look straight. There we go. And then I think you can't even tell. Okay, so now this is a piece of paper I punched something out of, but I'm still going to use it because this part is going to be covered up. Okay, so I want to just put it slightly up so that a little of that light blue shows at the bottom, and then press it down. Oh, first I should put my tape runner. Yeah, I didn't do that. I got ahead of myself. It won't stick without that. Okay, so now I'm going to let a little bit of that light blue show at the bottom. Press everything down gently. There we go, and I got the border done. So it looks a little complicated, but it's really pretty easy. Okay, so now I'm going to do this little square right here. I'm going to find some beige cardstock. And here's a piece. And here are some of my little die cuts. I'm missing. There we go. Now, I want to show you something I did. This looks gray, and I'd rather it have a little bit more of a brown look to it. So I just kind of traced around the edge with my brown pen just to kind of warm it up a little. So let me find my, let me find that pen. Well, I don't know. So, okay, so if I had my brown pen, I would just take it and on this little frame, just kind of add some little wispy lines. And it just sort of warms it up and gives it a little bit more brown look to it. That's all I did. And I might find that pen in a minute, but not right now. Okay, so first thing I want to cut this beige to the size of this. And this is a 3.5 inches wide by 4 inches tall. So let's do that. 3.5 inches wide. You know, that edge is not, this edge is straight. I'm going to look at this one. 3.5 inches wide. Make sure it follows all the lines. Stay straight. And flip it to the left once. And put it on the 4. Is that what I said? Make sure. Yeah. Sorry. I've done a bunch of videos today, so I'm kind of getting tired. Okay, so there we go. Now I would just add my embellishments. Put some repositionable tape runner on the back here. Put it at the top. And add this here. And I ran out, and I let the handle kind of go past it. And then I added this little bush. I ran out of these, but I would add that right there. And I would just add that up here at the top with my repositionable tape runner. And then the rest is easy breezy. These are the photos. Pretend photos. I would do a 3.5 by 4 up here, both of these, 4 by 5s here. And then this ruled paper, I would cut to 2 3/4 inches by, it's almost 5. Yeah, 2 3/4 by 5. Here's my scrap. So I would line it up at 2 3/4 and cut and move it this way. Put it at the 5 and cut. And then I have my journal box, and I would use my brown pen to do my journaling. And then I would just mount everything, and then it would look like this. So I love these colors. I really do. I love how the browns just add like richness to it, and the colors are fun, and of course they're springy, and I like it. And I would appreciate it so much if y'all like videos like this, if you would click the like button on the video and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. It just helps me a lot. And my goal is to get to 1,000 followers pretty soon. And y'all could help me get there. And that would mean I could kind of advance in the YouTube world. And anytime you like one of my videos, share it with your scrapbook friends if you like it. And that helps me too. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Bye.